Welcome to Wildlife Grid Shape lesson number 15. And to start off, we're going to be finding the elapsed time using a clock. And so, since we know that there is 60 minutes in an hour, we can use that to calculate how many hours are in between each one. So, looking at number 1, it starts at 10 a.m. or 10:10 a.m. and it ends at 11:40 a.m. And to get to 60 from here, we have to add 50. So let's put 50 minutes on the side right here. And as when we add 50 to it, it becomes 11. And since we need 40 more minutes to get to 11:40, we can add 40. So we can add these two together. We get 90 minutes. And if we want to simplify that, that's basically 1 hour and 30 minutes for number 1. Same thing for number 2. Since it states AM, we know it doesn't pass 12, so we can just calculate the same way we did number 1. So from 7:15 to 8, that is 45 minutes, so we'll put 45 to the side. From 8 to 9, that is 60 minutes, so we'll put a 60 right here. And it from 9 to 30, to 9:30 I mean, that's 30 more minutes. So we can add these all up, and we get 45 plus 60, 105, plus 30 is 135 minutes. And its simplified is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Number 6, we're doing the same thing. However, this time we know that it passes to PM as it goes from AM to PM. So from 10:45 to 11, that is 15 minutes, so we'll put a 15 right here. From 11 to 12, that's 60 minutes, so we'll put a 60. And then from 12 to 25, or 12 to 12:25, that's 25 minutes. Add that all up, and we get 100 exactly, which is equal to 1 hour and 40 minutes. Moving on to the next page, we'll be finding the end time using a clock. And basically, we're doing the same thing here. But we can always convert 1 hour to 60 minutes to make it easier. So let's do that first. 60 minutes. And since, actually for number 8, it wouldn't really matter what we do. So when we add 1 hour, that means we change this 8 to 9. This becomes 9:10. And we can cross all this out. And now we have 25 minutes left. We just add 25 to 10. 25 plus 10 equals 35. So our answer for number 1 is 9:35 a.m. actually. Number 2, we can do the same thing. We can add 1 hour first. So this 6 becomes a 7. And we can subtract, we can just cross this out. Then we add 20 to 40, and that gets us 60. So right now we have 760, but we know that at 60 minutes that becomes 1 hour, so we can cross this out, and our actual answer is 8 a.m. For number 6, here it says we start at 11:45 a.m. and we're going to be adding 1 hour and 30 minutes to it. And so we're doing the same thing, so we add 1 hour to this 11, which becomes 12:45. But since it goes past 12, that means that this AM actually changes to PM. And right now we have 30 minutes left, so we add 30 to 45. That gets us 75. But currently we have 12:75. And so, since we know that 60 is 1 hour, so we can subtract 60 from 75, and we can add it to the 12. We know that 12 resets to 1, so as of right now we are at 12, or we are at 1 o'clock, and we have 15 minutes left. We can add that to the 1, and then we bring down the PM, and that's our answer for number 6, 1:15. For this next page, you're completing the table of Amy's schedule. And for number 1, we're finding the elapsed time of her activity of eating snack. So here we see that it goes from 3:45 p.m. to 4:05 p.m. So we know that it doesn't really go past 12. And so we can just measure the time it takes to get to 4:05. So 3:45 to 4, we see that that's 15 minutes. So we can put a 15 right here. And right now we're at 4 p.m. And 4 to 4:05 is just 5 more minutes. So we can add a 5. Add these two together, and we get 20 minutes for the elapsed time for number 1. For number 2, here we can do the same thing for doing homework instead this time. And we see that from 4:05 p.m. to 5:10, that's the elapsed time. So from 4:05 to 5, that is 55 minutes. So we'll put a 55 right here. Now currently we're at 5. And then from 5 to 5:10, that's another 10 minutes. So we can put a 10 right here. Add these two together and we get 65 minutes or 1 hour and 5 minutes. And for our word problems, number 1, C needs to get at least 25 minutes to get ready for school. If he leaves for school at 7:15 a.m., when is the latest he can start getting ready? And since we know that he needs 25 minutes to get ready for school, and the latest he can go is at 7:15, that means that we can just subtract, we can go back in time 25 minutes to find the latest time he can start. So let's go from 7:15 to 7, which is minus 15. So 25 minus 15 is equal to 10. And currently we're at 7 a.m. And then we have 10 minutes left, so we can just subtract 10 from 7 o'clock, and that becomes 6:50. And that is our answer for number 1. The latest he can leave is 6:50 a.m. And lastly, for number 2, it takes Zach 31 minutes to walk a dog. It takes Rebecca a half hour to walk a dog. Who has a longer walk? And so, we already know how many minutes Zach walks, but let's convert Rebecca's to minutes too. So a half hour, we already know an hour is 60 minutes, and then half hour is just half of it, and then 60 divided by 2 equals 30. So it takes Rebecca 30 minutes, and it takes Zach 31 minutes, so we know that Zach has the longer walk.